Hello, hello, Algebra 1. You need your book today. This is page 345. So I will be checking this part of your book because there are some graphs. So I'm going to be checking that you did the graphs with each example. So this is the only part of the book that I will be checking, and not even the work part, just the graphs. So page 345 is where we're starting with lesson 6-5. I want work in your notebook, graphs in your book. Okay? So we're working with systems of inequalities. It's just like what we've been doing with systems of equations, except for it's an inequality, which means it uses all of our inequality symbols. So here we go. We're going to go on to example 1. I have black and white, so I have some highlighters that's going to be able to shade the things to show you better than my black and white copy of this book. So we're going to solve the system of inequalities by graphing. They've already graphed this, but they're not always going to graph it for you. So I'm going to start from here because you can't graph this inequality the way it is because it's not set up in, linear form. So I'm going to take this one, x minus 2y is greater than -6. We still want it to look like y equals mx plus b in order to graph it. So we're going to change this to match this with an inequality symbol. So I need y by itself. I'm going to subtract this x. I'm going to subtract this x. Now I have -2y is greater than -x minus 6. And then I'm going to divide by -2. I'm going to divide this whole side by -2. My sign flips because I divided by a negative. I'm left with y over here. Remember, this is a 1, and negative makes it positive, so I'm going to have 1/2 x. And then -6 divided by -2 is 3, so plus 3. So I'm going to find this line right here. Okay, so we start at 3 because that's our y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3. Here I am starting right here. And then it says I'm going to go up 1 over 2. Up 1 to the right 2. I noticed that it does not have is equal to, so that's why we have a dashed line. Now look here. Y is less than. Y is less than. So I'm going to start with my yellow marker, my yellow highlighter. Everything underneath this line gets shaded. So shade, shade, shade. You can do this with a pencil if you shade really lightly. Otherwise, you really just have to pay attention to what it is that you're shading, because the answer of a system of linear inequalities is literally what is double shaded. So that's what I'm getting ready to look for when I switch colors, is what is double shaded. So this one I can graph all on its own. Y is less than 3x. Remember, if there's nothing, that means plus 0. That means my y-intercept is at 0. Boom, there it is. And then I have 3x, so that means I'm going to go up 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. There it is. Boom. There's my line. This says it's not equal to, so therefore it's a dashed line. Now, y is less than. Y is less than. So y is less than. I'm actually going to, y is the line. So this line is less than. I'm going to shade to the right. Okay? So I'm shading to the right. Notice how I get this little piece up here? But I'm getting all of this too. What's happening to where the yellow is? It's not blue. It's turning green. So this area over here is called an intersection. So the solution is any set of ordered pairs in the intersection. So it is anywhere where it is double shaded, which is going to be this green area right here. And you can see if you shade with a pencil, this area should be darker if you didn't shade too hard the first time. Notice the yellow of my original color, the blue of my original color, and this turned green. This is the double shaded area. This is the solution that I'm going to be looking for. It's called the intersection. So I can pick anything out of here, like I can pick this point and take the x and the y and plug them into these inequalities, and that would be true. Okay? Now, you are going to, this is where I'm going to be checking in your book. This check has a graph that you have to do. This check has a graph that you have to do, so I'm going to be checking this graph. So go ahead and pause the video, work these problems out, graph your lines, and shade as you go. So here I have 1/3 x plus 2 is less than y. I need to get my x and my 2 over there, so I'm going to go minus 1/3 x minus, actually no, you don't have to do this on this one. Look, this is set up correctly. I'm literally just going to flip it like a pancake, so it's y equals mx plus b. So y, open is open to y, and then I have 1/3 x plus 2. So y is greater than 1/3 x plus 2. Okay, so now I can graph this. My y-intercept is 2, 1, 2. My slope is up 1 over 3, so I'm going to go up 1 over 3, put a line, or put a point, sorry. It is not equal to, so therefore I'm going to do a dashed line. Dash, 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 dash. Y is greater than. Y is greater than. That means I am going to shade above this line. I'm going to start with yellow. That's just what I like to do. Y is greater than. I'm going to shade above this line. Okay. Now we're going to do the second one. There is no y in this one. So remember, when it's x is something, I'm going to have a straight up and down line. X is, the line's going to be at -3. So let's start with that. 1, 2, 3, -3. And it has a is equal to, so this is going to be a solid line. When it's a solid line, anything on the solid line is going to be part of the solution. So now I have to look at this past just the line. It says x is greater than. We remember that x gets greater as we go to the right. I'm going to shade everything to the right of this line. So here you can see where it's starting to change colors. So up here in the green, any of the points in the green and on this section of line can be considered a solution. This is not a solution because it's dashed. Everything above it is, or anything on this line and to the right is. It has to match both. Okay? Moving on to example 2. Looks like we're going to be showing you a no solution. I know it has a graph for you already, but we're going to go ahead and fix this so that we can see why the line is where it is. So for the first one, I have -3x plus 4y is greater than 0. I'm going to start by moving the x over. So I'm going to add 3x, add 3x. I have 4y is greater than 3x. I need to, we can put +0 if you really need it in order to make your brain understand. I need to divide by 4 to get y by itself. Divide by 4 to get y by itself. So y, it wasn't negative, so I'm going to keep my sign, is greater than 3 over 4 x, and then 0 divided by 4 is still 0. So right now I have a y-intercept of 0, so I'm starting right there. I'm going up 3 to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I go, and it is a dashed line. Dash, 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 dash. Okay? Y is greater than. So I'm going to shade everything above this line. Everything above this line. Okay? Next up, I'm going to do the second equation. I got to do the same thing. I have 3x minus 4y is greater than or equal to 8. Again, I'm going to start by I'm going to subtract my 3x this time. So I have -4y is greater than or equal to, I'm going to put this term first, -3x plus 8. Now I have to divide by -4, divide by -4. I have to flip this because I divided by a negative. Y, negative is going to be positive, 3 over 4. So 3 over 4x. And then 8 divided by negative 4 is going to be negative 2. So here I'm starting on negative 2 on the y-intercept. So 1, 2. My slope is 3 over 4, so I'm going to go up 3 to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I go, right there. It has is equal to, so it's a solid line. Y is less than or equal to, so therefore I'm going to shade underneath the line. Underneath the line. So notice, remember, solutions are only where they intersect, where they cross, where they overlap. These two don't overlap. So when they don't overlap, they do not intersect, do not intersect at any point. So this has no solution. No solution. Okay, flipping over. Here we go again. This is your check for example 2. This is the graph that I'll be checking in your book. Okay, the work should be in your notebook. The graph should be in your book. Go ahead and pause and do that now. This one's already fixed. I just got to flip it like a pancake so it makes sense to my brain. Y, open side stays to the y, and then x plus 3. If there's nothing there, that means my slope is 1. So my y-intercept is 3. 1, 2, 3. My slope is 1, so I'm going to go up 1 over 1. And it is a dashed line. So dash, 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 dash. Y is greater than. So I'm going to shade above. Going to shade above. Okay. Next up, I've got to fix this equation. So I'm going to rewrite it. 3x minus 3y is greater than or equal to 12. I'm going to subtract 3x, so I have negative 3y is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 12. Here I got to divide by a negative 3. Divide this whole side by negative 3. Y I divided by a negative, so I'm going to flip it. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. X. 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. So my y-intercept is going to be negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My slope is 1, so I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. This is going to be a solid line. So just like that. And y is less than or equal to. So I'm going to shade below the line. And when it's asking for the solution, you're graphing in order to find the solution, you need to actually write no solution because these two did not intersect at all. So we're going to say no solution. Okay? There we go. That's 6-5. I was told I needed a better out. I don't have one. Bye.